Hi, so we're on to the fourth chapter of My Father's Dragon. When we left off, Elmer Elevator was crossing the rocks between the island of Tangerina and Wild Island. Remember, he has 31 tangerines. 31 tangerines. He used the rubber bands to tie himself in the cranberry sack, and he's also used his boots, and I think that's all that we know about yet. But let's see what happens in chapter 4. Chapter 4 is called My Father Finds the River. The jungle began just beyond a narrow strip of beach. Thick, dark, damp, scary jungle. My father hardly knew where to go, so he crawled under a wahoo bush. Oh, a great bush. Starts with a W this week. A wahoo bush. To think, and he ate 8 tangerines. So 31 take away 8. I'm going to let you figure that out, and in a minute we'll change our numbers on the board. The first thing to do, he decided after that, was to find the river, because the dragon was tied somewhere along the banks of the river. Then he thought, if the river flows into the ocean, I ought to be able to find it quite easily if I walk around the beach far enough. So if we go back to the map, and he's here, so he's crossed, here's the island Tangerina, he walked around, he went across the rocks, and he's sitting under a wahoo bush over here. And so now he needs to get to the river. So he either needs to walk around this way until he gets to the river, or around this way. But either way, if he walks around the island, he will get to the river. That's his thought. It's the way he's thinking right now. So my father walked until the sun rose. Remember, he was walking across the rocks at night, so no one would see him. That's what the cat told him. Make sure you go across those ocean rocks at night. So he went across at night, and so now he walked until the sun came up as far as he could. It was dangerous to stay near the ocean rocks because they might be guarded in the daytime. He found a clump of tall grass and he sat down. He took off his boots and ate 3 more tangerines. So we better go figure this out. So 31 take away 8. I'm just not sure where I'm going to write it. Maybe we'll go up at the top. 31 take away 8. Well, if we know 31 take away 10 is 21. And so then we have to go 2 more. So 21 and 2 more is 23. So he had 23, but then it just said he ate 3 more. So now we're at 20. He has 20 left. 23 take away. Let me make sure. He could have, yeah, he ate 3 more. Okay, so we're going to totally erase now back to over here. You guys saw that. We're going to erase this now. He has 20 tangerines left in his backpack. 20. Okay. Whoops. Sorry, hold on. All right. He could have eaten 12, but he hadn't seen any tangerines on this island, and he could not risk running out of food. My father slept all that day and woke up late in the afternoon when he heard a funny noise, actually a funny voice saying, "Queer, queer, what a dear little duck." I mean, dear, dear, what a queer little rock. My father saw a tiny paw rubbing against his knapsack. My father, he lay very, very still, and the mouse, for it was a mouse, hurried away, muttering, "I must smell somebody. I must smell somebody. I mean, I must tell somebody." And he ran off. Uh-oh. So a mouse knows about Elmer Elevator's knapsack or backpack. My father waited a few minutes and then started down the beach because it was almost dark. And he was afraid the mouse really would tell somebody. He walked all night and two scary things happened. First, he just had to sneeze. So he did. And somebody close by said, "Is that you, monkey?" My father said, "Yes." Then the voice said, "You must have something on your back, monkey." And my father said, "Yes," because he did. He had his knapsack on his back. "What do you have on your back, monkey?" asked the voice. My father didn't know what to say, because what would a monkey have on its back, and how would it sound telling somebody if it did have something? Just then a voice said, "I bet you're taking your sick grandma to the doctor's." And my father just said, "Yes," and hurried on. Quite by accident, he found out later that he had been talking to a pair of tortoises. The second thing that happened was that he nearly walked right between two wild boars who were talking. So there's the two wild boars talking. And if you can see Elmer, he's peeking right there. So Elmer Elevator's hiding, looking at the two boars talking. So now there's a mouse, two tortoises, and the two boars that Elmer has run into. What did it say? It said, two boars were talking in whispers. When he first saw the dark shapes, he thought they were boulders. Just in time, he heard one of them say, "There are 3 signs, 3, that there's been an invasion on our island. First, we found fresh tangerine peels under the wahoo bush near the ocean rocks. Second, a mouse reported an extraordinary rock some distance from the ocean rocks, which upon further investigation simply wasn't there. However, more fresh tangerine peels were found in the same spot, which is the third sign of an invasion. Since tangerine peels or tangerines do not grow on our island, somebody must have brought them across on the ocean rocks from the other island, which may or may not have something to do with the appearance or disappearance of the extraordinary rock, which, remember, it was the backpack that the tortoises reported, or sorry, the mouse reported. After a long silence, the other boar said, "You know, I think we're all taking this too seriously. Those peels probably just floated over here by themselves, and you know how unreliable mice are. Come on. Besides, if there had been an invasion, I would have seen it," said the other boar. "Perhaps you're right," said the first boar. "Shall we retire?" Whereupon they both trundled back into the jungle. Well, that taught my father a lesson. And after that, he decided to save his tangerine peels and put them back in his backpack. He walked all night, and toward morning, he found the river. Then troubles really began. There's the two tortoises. So some of the tangerines were eaten. Other than that, we haven't seen anything else he's used. He's used the boots and a rubber band and the sack with cranberry on it. That was the end of chapter 4. So I hope you're looking forward to hearing chapter 5 tomorrow. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye.